Good morning Year 9 and welcome to today's maths lesson. Let's start with a starter. Can you evaluate 4 to the power 3 for me, so work out the value of that? Can you work out 134 times 2.3? Can you then find 25% of 200? And which is bigger, 4 squared or 2 to the power 4? Pause the video and have a go at those questions in your light blue books now, please. Let's go through the answers. 4 to the power 3. What does that mean, Dylan? It means 4 times 4 times 4, which will give me 64. For my next question, I'm going to do a quick multiplication sum. I'm going to do 134 multiplied by 23 to start with. So I've multiplied my 2.3 by 10 to give me 23. A long multiplication, 4 times 3 gives me 12, 3 times 3 gives me 9, plus 1 gives me 10, 1 times 3 gives me 3, plus 1 gives me 4, put in a 0, 4 times 2 gives me 8, 3 times 2 gives me 6, 1 times 2 gives me 2, add those together I get 2, 8, 10 and 3. So my answer is 3082. Is that right, Sophie? Why is it wrong? I multiplied my 2.3 by 10 to get 23. So my final answer I need to divide by 10, which gives me 308.2. My next question, I asked you to find 25% of 200. Now 25 is a quarter of 100. We know percent means out of 100. So 25% is 25 out of the 100%. We need to divide 200 by 4, which will give me 50. And for my last question, I asked which is bigger, 4 squared or 2 to the 4? Well, 4 squared is just 4 times 4, which is 16. 2 to the power 4 is 2 times 2 times 2 times 2, which gives me 2, 4, 8, 16. So it was a trick question, they're the same. Okay, Year 9, let's head into today's lesson. A quick recap of what we were doing last lesson. We were talking about terminology. What did we call this big number, Josh? Begins with a B. We call it the base. So the 3 is the base of our number. What do we call this little number up the top, Lilia? Great, this is the power. So this is our index notation we were talking about. We needed a big number as the base and a little number as the power. For example, we call this 3 to the power 5, which we said was 3 times 3 times 3 times 3 times 3. 3 times 3 gives me 9. Multiply 9 by 3 gives me 27. 27 times 3 gives me 81. And 81 times 3 gives me 243. So a quick practice of the skills we were doing last lesson. Can you pause the video for about 10 minutes and have a go at these 3 questions? I want you to find the value of the first questions. For example, 2 to the 4 is 2 times 2 times 2 times 2, which is 16. For the second question, can you write these in index form for me, in shorthand form? For example, 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 times 2. My base number is 2 and my power is 7 because I'm multiplying it by itself 7 times. And then can you state whether the following statements are true or false? Pause the video and have a go at those questions now, please, in your light blue books. And these are the answers. Please check your work and see how you did. Right, this is today's lesson destination. We're going to be simplifying multiplication of powers. For example, simplifying 2 to the 5 times 2 to the 3, writing 5 to the 3 times 5 to the 4 as 5 to the power of something, and then correcting Eva's method. So, quick reminder, 6 to the power 4, what does that mean, Charlotte? Great, 6 to the power 4 means 6 times 6 times 6 times 6. Sophie, what does 6 to the power 5 mean? Brilliant, 6 times itself 5 times. So we know what each of those terms means individually. So how can I write 6 to the power 4 times 6 to the power 5? Well, 6 to the power 4 was 6 times itself 4 times. 6 to the power 5 was 6 times itself 5 times. If I multiply those two together, I get 6 to the power of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 6 to the power 9. So, let's go through an example. These are our notes. We know that something to the power of a times something to the power of b is the base to the power a plus b. In your dark blue books, can you write the title Multiplication of Indices? And underneath, can you write this note? When we multiply indices, we just add up the powers. Notice when we had 6 to the power 4 times 6 to the power 5, we just added together the 4 and the 5 to give us 6 to the power 9. Over to you, Year 9. Can you have a go at these two for me? Can you write these as single powers? 5 to the power 3 times 5 to the power 7, using the blue book notes, and a squared times a to the power 8. Pause the video and have a go at these in your dark blue books or on your neat sheet of paper now, please. Right, let's go through the answers. 5 to the power 3 times 5 to the power 7. I just need to add together my indices. My 5 stays the same. I get 5 to the power 3 plus 7, which gives me 5 to the power 10. For the second one, I've got a to the power 2 times a to the power 8. So my base is a. My powers, I add together my 2 and my 8. So this will leave me with a to the power 10. So every time you see something in index form multiplied by something in index form and that base is the same, we can just add the powers together. Okay, so here's our law. P to the power a times p to the power b equals p to the power a plus b. For example, 2 to the power 3 times 2 to the power 4 would be 2 to the power 3 plus 4, which is 2 to the power 7. We can only use this in certain circumstances. I've given you some examples where we can use this law and some non-examples where we can't use this law. Pause the video and have a little think. What do you reckon the two caveats, the two reasons we can use the law? Pause the video and have a little think. Okay, so what do you notice is different about this top example? 2 to the power 2 times 2 to the 4 and 2 to the power 2 times 3 to the 4, Owen. For the non-example, the base has changed, and when the base has changed, we cannot use the law. To use the law, the base must be the same. So both must be p, both must be 2. In this case, both must be 2. What else do you notice, Dylan, has to be true? Look at the second example. It has to be multiply. If we've got a plus in the middle, we cannot use the law. It must be multiply. Okay, Year 9, light blue books or mini whiteboards. How can I write the following in index form? Can I use my multiplication law? I'll copy across the law so we can remember it. Can I use it and can I simplify it? Pause the video and write down your answer now, please. Right, Rowan, can I use my multiplication law? No, I can't. Why not? Because because my base number is not the same. I've got a 6 here and a 5 here. I cannot simplify this. I have to leave it exactly how it is. So how about now? Can I simplify this one? And if I can, write down the simplification for me. Okay, this time my base is the same. So I can write this as 6 to the power 3 plus 2, which gives me 6 to the power 5. How about now? Can I use my law? Yes, I can. My base is the same. They're both 6. So this will give me 6 to the power 3 plus 3, which gives me 6 to the power 6. How about now? Can I use my law? Again, my base is the same. I can write this as a to the power 3 plus 3, which gives me a to the power 6. How about now? This time my base is different. This is an a and this is a b, so I cannot simplify that. I cannot use my law. Nope. How about now? This time my base is the same. But Owen, what's in the middle? It's a plus. And my law is only relevant when there's a multiply in the middle. So no, I cannot simplify that. I cannot use my law. How about now? This time I can use my law. The base is the same. I've got a to the power 3. I can write a on its own as a to the power 1. This gives me a to the power 3 plus 1, which gives me a to the power 4. How about now? Can I use my law now? Yes, I can. Just because I've got 3 different terms, I can still use my law. I just need to add together all those indices this time. So I get a to the power 3 plus 1 plus 2, which gives me a to the power 6. Well done if you got that one right. So how about now? Can I use my law? Yes, I can. This time, just because my base is negative a, it's still the same all the way across. So I can write this as negative a to the power of 3 plus 5 plus 2, which will give me negative a to the power of 10. Well done if you got that right. Okay, Year 9, in your light blue books, for each of these 10 questions, can you write down yes or no? Can you use the multiplication law? Is the base number the same? And are we multiplying? Pause the video for 5 to 10 minutes and work those out now, please. And these are your answers. Please check your work and see how you did. Notice that for all of the ones I've written no, I've written down the reason why. For example, this one, I can't use it because there's a plus in the middle. This one I can't because there's a plus and my base number is different. This one I can't because my base number is different. And for the last one, it's a plus, so no, we cannot use the law. Okay, Year 9, in your light blue books, please pause the video for about 10 to 15 minutes and have a go at these questions. Can you simplify it using the law? Some of them you can, some of them you can't. For example, the first one, I could write that as 5 to the power of 5 plus 3 because my base number is the same, which would give me 5 to the power 8. Pause the video, 10 to 15 minutes, off you go. And these are the answers. Please check your work and see how you did. And finally, Year 9, this was our lesson destination for today. Can you have a go at these questions for me? Pause the video for 5 minutes and answer these 3 exam questions. And these are the answers. Please check your work and see how you did. This one is 2 to the power of 5 plus 3, which gives me 2 to the power of 8. The second one, we've got 5 to the power 8 plus 4, which gives me 5 to the power 12. So this m must be 12. And for the last one, she's done 4 to the power of 2 times 2 times 2, which we know isn't right. You'd need to do 2 plus 2 plus 2, which will give you 4 to the power 6. And that's the end of today's lesson. Please head over to Google Classroom and submit today's exit ticket. Have a wonderful day and thanks for listening.